Hey, so with the release of Suikouden 1 and 2 coming out, I thought I would give my two thoughts on Eiyuden Chronicles. Uh, Eiyuden Chronicles was the first sort of reimagining of Suikoden, the first offshoot of Suikoden. It has the lead developer from the other Suikoden games who was contributing to it, who bowed out during the development of Suikoden 3. So this was a highly anticipated game that I was looking forward to. But we were kind of like had the rug pulled from under us when we would find that the first game that was released in the series was some side-scrolling action game, a complete different course for the series to go. And this game is also a game that was made from fan donations. So that fact is a bit weird that they would go and make an action game instead of the RPG that everyone wants. But from my experiences, from what I've seen of that action game and this RPG, is that they were trying to build a world where there wasn't that many time skips. So I think like the first game was occurring during this game, but off screen. Sorry, this footage is a wee bit blurry, but yeah, so it's sort of strange way to keep the continuity, and yeah, it's setting filled with all sorts of colorful wacky characters, beastmen, etc. Perhaps a bit too over the top for my liking of the series, you know. Suikoden always had its over-the-top characters, but they were somewhat still muted and realistic. I think one of the first companions that you can recruit in the game is like a magician with this whole Sailor Moon aspect to them. And yeah, it just feels completely unbelievable, if you know what I mean. And that kind of struck me as a thing. But other than that, there was a lot of woke discourse, Gamergate discourse with this game, because there is a cutscene within the first dungeon where like a golem is about to explode, and one of the party members goes like, "He's about to explode," and another character goes, "Oh, you assume their gender?" or something like that, which is, yeah. And the white male lead plays second fiddle to quite a lot of strong, multi-diverse characters. I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, it's really trying its very much hardest to be Suikoden 2, which Suikoden 2 was perhaps one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. People don't talk about it much because it had a very limited release, and the game goes up to like a mortgage level of money now these days. But Suikoden 2, I played it, it should be in the discussion with Chrono Trigger and other games in that series like Final Fantasy VI, Dragon Quest IV, etc. It should be in the discussion of these kind of games. But despite that, every single Suikoden after 2 has been very hit or miss, some dividing the fans completely. I think Suikoden 4 People hated Suikoden 4. They hated the naval travel in that game and the whole naval aspect. But, yeah, so this game is trying to really hard be Suikoden 2, which had this rivalry between the main red guy and the blue guy. You'll see them on the screen now. And he had this kind of best friend from school character, which is also being replicated with that girl in the back right. And it just does not hit, I have to say. It's these characters are nowhere near as cool as the ones in Suikoden 2. And honestly, this system kind of works around the same kind of ruins system, but instead in this one it's called lenses, which is infinitely lamer. But yeah, I guess I could kind of talk about the combat, but the thing about this game is it's completely unbalanced. One of the mages in the game has the highest base attack in the entire game, and they're completely broken, completely able to one-shot everything in the game, I think. But before you unlock them, the way that you win most combats is there's these characters that have special abilities when they guard, and one of them is called Charge Up. And if you charge up 3 times, your attack is times by 5, and it one-shots bosses. So you just end up putting an entire party of charge-up characters to just one-shot a boss. And it really, I feel, robs the combat, but the combat isn't that good either way. There's this whole physical art system, which the way that it interacts with base attacks is that you have to charge them up, but the time that you charge them up or whatever, or use your resource to use them, you could have just used 2 base attacks and that would have done more damage. And that sort of is where we end up. And all the magic is terrible. It doesn't really outpace basic attacks. And when your entire new age turn-based RPG, the best thing in it is basic attacks, I think that is worrying, to say the least. But outside of that, I would say that I enjoyed my time with the game. I quite liked all the kind of it's a new Suikoden, and I'd put this I'd put it around. I would put it in the family of that, but I can't help but say that I was very disappointed. It's been a year or so now since release, and there's a new DLC coming out where we get to play a character I didn't like. Up until now, there's been the season pass for completely cosmetic DLC, which I don't know if anyone would be even the slightest bit interested in. And yeah, it's a shame because the developer is dead. He died during development, and this game probably won't reach the peak that it should have. But other than that, there's just a lot of things about this game that kind of rub me the wrong way. There's kind of a guest NPC system which allows you to include people in your party, and the way that works is that some let you save anywhere or run faster, which says a lot about the game when you have to sacrifice a party slot for quality of life. I'm not saying that you need to be able to save wherever you want or run super fast, but I just think that if I recruit those party members to unlock that feature should just remain available to me at all times. Like I shouldn't have to switch someone in to do that. I think that if you're going to use this guest NPC feature, it should be something that affects combat passively or gains or something that maybe drop rates maybe. But moving faster and being able to save conveniently just doesn't sit well to me. And a lot of these like companions that you recruit, I mean, it's hard. It's kind of not right for me to gripe about this, but like you recruit them and that's it. You never talk to them ever again. They barely showcase in any cutscenes, etc. And yeah, I mean, this isn't like I Am Setsuna or anything like that. The game that said that would be the next Chrono Trigger, but it's definitely something that I might come back to, but I just don't think it's worth what they're selling it for. I think it's a very buggy and unbalanced game that, though quirky and fun, I especially love the Beyblade minigame, which people hate, but I it's cool that you can do Beyblade in this game, but a lot about this game is just not really what I'm into. I think that it's too modern. Like I liked when the games were more realistic. I think allowing fans to pitch in ideas was a thing. There's a lot of annoying female characters in this game, which I feel that were kind of inclusive DEI in decisions. But yeah, I've got to say I'm disappointed, and this is probably the last time we're ever going to get a real Suikoden experience, and it slipped through our fingers. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this game. If you're interested in Eiyuden, what happened to it, this has just been my ruminations about it. This is not the kind of videos I make usually, but I thought maybe with the new Suikoden coming out, I'd give my thoughts on this, and then when Suikoden comes out, I'll cover more. But yeah, one minute. Like another thing is this game is fucking buggy. I couldn't gain XP until I restarted my game. Like I started the game and I couldn't gain XP, and I got to the boss, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I had to change the frame rate of my monitor so that I could gain XP. It's a weird bug, you know. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day.